Then we move on to specification number 9, which asks us to explain why it is more energy efficient for humans to eat crop plants than to eat livestock that have been fed on crop plants. Now, let's understand why eating plants directly is more energy efficient. It is more energy efficient for humans to eat crop plants directly because less energy is lost between trophic levels. When humans eat crop plants, they are feeding directly on producers, which are at the first trophic level. This means that a much larger proportion of the energy captured by plants is available for humans to use. However, when humans eat livestock such as cows, sheep, or chickens that have been fed on crop plants, the energy has already passed through an additional trophic level before reaching humans. During this transfer, a large amount of energy is lost. Animals use most of the energy they obtain from plants for respiration, movement, growth, maintaining body temperature, and other life processes. More energy is also lost in waste materials such as feces and undigested food. As a result, only about 10% of the plant's energy is converted into animal biomass that humans can eventually consume. Therefore, by eating crop plants directly instead of feeding them to livestock first, humans avoid these extra energy losses and obtain much more usable energy from the original food source. Now, let's consider how this applies to humans. Humans are omnivores, meaning they can obtain energy by eating both plants and animals. Because of this, they can choose to feed at different trophic levels. Consider these two food chains, wheat to cow to human and wheat to human. In the second food chain, humans eat the wheat directly and receive much more of the original energy stored in the plant. In the first food chain, much of the energy is lost while the cow uses it for its own life processes before humans consume the meat. This means that humans obtain more available energy by acting as herbivores rather than carnivores in these food chains. However, in many situations humans also eat animals because they can convert food sources that humans cannot eat, such as grass, into useful food like meat and milk. Similarly, fish obtain energy from aquatic food chains based on algae and plankton, which humans generally do not consume directly. Now, let's interpret the diagram. As you can see, the diagram shows how the sun's energy is absorbed and used by plants. Only about 1% of the incoming solar energy is captured during photosynthesis and converted into chemical energy that enters the food chain. Around 39% of the energy is used to evaporate water during transpiration, about 40% warms the soil, air, and surrounding vegetation, and approximately 20% is reflected from the plant surface. This shows that only a very small fraction of sunlight is stored as food in plants. The diagram also illustrates energy transfer from plants to animals. When animals feed on plants, a large proportion of the food, around 60%, is not digested or is lost as waste. The remaining energy is used for respiration, movement, growth, and other life processes, so only a small amount is stored as biomass. This explains why eating plants directly is much more energy efficient than eating animals that have fed on those plants. Every additional trophic level results in further energy losses, leaving less energy available for humans.